Good morning and welcome to the next episode of the Grey Nomad Knits. My name is Jill and I'm coming to you from Perth, Western Australia. I'd like to thank all my subscribers who are thankfully persistently watching my videos. I always get tongue-tied. And I would like to welcome any new subscribers and hope that you enjoy what I have to show you. I mainly talk about all my mostly knitting and some crochet items, and I just love my craft and what I do, and I hope you enjoy it too. Well, Perth here in Western Australia, it's another mild winter's day. I think it's going to be 20 or 21 today. Overcast skies, and it rained most of the night, and I think that's why it's warm. But you know, we should be getting around 16, 17 degrees at this time of the year, not 20, 21. And one day when I was out in the car a week or two ago, it was actually 24, which is, I don't think I've ever known it to be so mild during the winter. And you know, I know I shouldn't complain. We're very fortunate with our climate. But sometimes I yearn for a lovely, cold, crisp day where I can just curl up in front of the heater and get my knitting needles out and enjoy the weather. But anyway, that's what holidays down south are for. Now, I'm trying to think if where I was last time I spoke to you. I think we might have just been heading down to Denmark to have Christmas in July with our friends. And I came down with COVID. And so did my hubby, although he pretended to ignore it and lived life as normal, but he only really had a snuffly nose. But I copped a big dose this time, had a dreadful cough, and yeah, it wasn't very pleasant, but I'm a lot better now. It left me feeling very tired and a bit weird in my brain, saying and doing weird things. But I am much better now, so all good to go, and I'm just thankful, as it could have been a lot worse. Okay, let's get on to what you're all here for, and that's the knitting. I have two finished objects. The first one was the hot water bottle cover I was working on the last time. I don't have it with me now because it's over at the shop, but I will insert a photo here. So this was made from Rowan felted tweed, and it's a mashup of just my own pattern. I do a little moss stitch band at the bottom so it can button at the back, which makes the hot water bottle easier to get into the cozy. And this one I just did in a plain stocking stitch with a nice Fair Isle band across the middle. It used up a lot of my leftover yarn from the Marie Wallin blankets that I've knitted in the past. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. And it has a couple of little crochet discs on a drawstring, so you can pull it tight around the neck of the water bottle. I was really happy with it, and that's them all done and dusted for this winter. I'm not making any more for now. But I'm very happy with the way it turned out. The main colour I used was the stone colourway, and I think the colours all look really nice together. So that was my first finished object. Now my second finished object, I'm very glad to say, is this beautiful, beautiful blanket. It's the Sungold blanket, which is a free pattern on the Attic 24 website. If you look her up, her name is Lucy, and she has all her pattern tutorials listed in a bar down on the left-hand side. I was so happy with this. I think the colours are beautiful and bright and cheery, and I just love the border, if you can see it there. The border's so pretty. She gave you the option of the border. You could do it as wide or as, you know, however many, whatever colours you wanted really. But I just went with what she did because she is an absolute master at this, and I really loved the way hers turned out. So I just did it the same. So it's very big, so I can't really show you it all. This is doubled over, but you get the idea. And I just want to show you the border again up close. Isn't that pretty? And look at the corner. Turned out so nice. I probably should have loosened the corners a little bit, maybe put an extra chain in because they are curling up a bit, but I don't think it's going to matter. And for any of those who haven't watched my podcast before, this is going to be a gift for my sister-in-law over in Tasmania. Very sadly, we lost my brother last year and she's struggled a bit emotionally. And she did buy herself a lovely new creamy coloured leather lounge suite. And I just thought this would look really nice on top of it. I mean, she can do what she wants with it. But that for me is what I had in mind when I was making it for her. And also the nights can get pretty cool over there. So it's something she can just pull over herself when she's got her feet up at night watching TV. So that is going to get posted off to her probably this weekend. And fingers crossed, thankfully she doesn't watch this podcast. She'll get a really nice surprise. She did see it when she was over here back in April, but she was really ill and I don't think she took it in that I was making it for her. So, and even if she had, she would have forgotten all about it by now. So that's the Sungold blanket by Lucy from Attic 24. Heading over on a plane to Tasmania. I'd love to be able to take it in person, but that's not going to happen. And the yarn, it's an acrylic blanket and it's made from the Style Crafter Special DK. I had so many leftovers, so I'm sure I'll be able to put them to good use in another project sometime soon. But very, very happy with it. I think there's 12 or 15 different colours. I can't quite recall now. But I just think they all blend so beautifully together. And I'm very, very happy with it. It was a really easy crochet project. Lucy has very detailed instructions on her website and she has step-by-step photos and she puts a pin in to show you exactly where you have to poke your hook, which is always my problem. Where do I stick my hook? So if you fancy doing a crochet project, look her up and give it a go, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Her patterns are an absolute pleasure to make. Really, I think she should be charging for them because, she does such a great job. And you can buy kits to make her blankets on the Wool Warehouse site. So I'll put that in the notes below so that you can follow the links to that. The next project I want to show you is my work in progress, my Yorlin cardigan by Kate Davies. I'm almost there, guys. Almost there in my Christmas bag. So I have finished the main body. The sleeves are all done. And I'm now working on the band at the bottom. And it's really hard to see when it's all crunched up, but it's just this lovely twisted rib. It's got to be about almost 3 times that depth. I'll probably say I'm about 40% through the ribbing. And then of course I have to pick up to do the neckband and the button bands. I have tried it on and I'm very happy with how the sleeves are fitting. So it was, because I didn't put it on waste yarn, I just left it on the circular needle. It was a bit hard to get a proper idea of the fit. So I tried to imagine what it would be like when that was all, stretched out at the bottom. And I think it's going to be just right. I haven't made it too long, but it's not cropped either. And I didn't want it to come down too long over the top of my jeans or anything. Now this yarn, the pattern is the Yorlin cardigan by Kate Davies. Look at the beautiful lace work down the side panels. This yarn is so beautiful. It's my new favourite yarn dyer, although I have seen her yarn for quite some time now and loved it. It's from a local Perth lady called Michelle, and her company is Dyeing to Knit Yarns, and I'll put the link down below. Now I reached out to Michelle and I said to her I wanted to make a black cardigan, but not jet black, more like a charcoal black. And did she have anything in mind? And she got back to me within half an hour and suggested this. And what I love, it's tonal. See the slight striping in it, which is actually more prominent on the screen than what it is in real life. So when you see it in real life, it's just this lovely tonal charcoal colour, and it's just going to go with so many things. It's a fingering weight yarn, which is what I wanted, because especially after this winter, we just don't get the wear out of anything much thicker than this. And in fact, at my knit night last night, Charmaine was showing us a beautiful, like a waistcoat that she's knitted, like a sleeveless cardigan, a button-down vest. And it's beautiful, and I was thinking that that would be perfect for our Perth climate in the winter. And my other friend Jackie is also making a sleeveless one in a beautiful darkish green colour that she got from Bendigo Woolen Mills on their new Whisper base. And that's gorgeous, and it's got, I wish I'd got the pattern of her. It was like it's got like a crisscross pattern across it. So I think that something like that would be a really good option for our Perth winters as well. But for now, yeah, I think I am going to get so much wear out of this, and I'm certainly going to look at more fingering weight. And in fact, once I've used up loads, I'm just looking over at part of my stash. I've got loads of 8 ply, which is DK weight, to use up. And I think once they're all made up, I'm only going to stick with fingering weight jumpers and cardigans after that. That's if I live long enough to knit all the DK yarn that I have. I'm just stroking this. It's so beautiful. I love it. The pattern is so well written. It's in, oh, I should have brought the book through, but I didn't. It's in one of Kate Davies' books. And it's very well written. It's just a little confusing where she has all the different instructions for different sizes. So I found the best way is to photocopy it. And I can show you what I mean. I won't show you too much because obviously it's a paid pattern. But I photocopied it. I'm just going to, if you see these numbers, I'm sort of hovering around it so you can't zoom in and read it. Not that I think you'd be able to get the pattern from it anyway. But this is all instructions for the different sizes. So I sort of went through highlighting the bits that were relevant to me, and I found that that really helped. Otherwise, it's just a bit overwhelming and a bit confusing when you see it all written like that. Once again, see, it's all bits and pieces relevant to the different sizes. So you've just got to read it through first. Once you've done that and highlight the parts relevant to your size, it's easy peasy. It's really well written. And I will certainly be making more of Kate's designs because I'm really, really enjoying this one. It's one of those projects that you just, when you know you're going to knit on it, you just want to set aside like a whole day or something so that you can really get into it and enjoy it. Because once you start, you don't want to put it down. But I have to limit myself, 3 hours maximum at a time. My hand is really good now and I don't want to upset it again. So that's the Yorlin cardigan by Kate Davies, using the beautiful yarn from Dyeing to Knit Yarns here in Perth, Australia. Now, those of you who watched my last episode were with me at the end of it would have seen me picking out my next project. So I picked out this beautiful yarn, and I've still got the label. Oh, I've got part of the label. Let me see if the rest is in here. Yes, it is. So it's a Knit Picks yarn, and it's the Hawthorn fingering, and it's called Alberta Arts. It's a 80% superwash fine Highland wool and 20% polyamide. So hopefully it will last really well. And it's a 100 grams, which gives you 357 yards. It's weird how they give the weight in metric and the meterage in imperial. I don't really know what 357 yards is, but I'm guessing it's probably around the 400 metre mark. That's what we usually get for 100 grams of fingering weight wool. But gosh, Knit Pick yarns are beautiful, and if I ever need to buy more yarn, I'll certainly look at them because really, really nice yarn to work with. I'm using my sock ruler this time. I bought this some time ago and forgot that I had it. So this is my, that's where I wrote to do my leg to, but then realised it wasn't long enough, so I've extended it up to there. So as I was knitting the sock, after every few rows, I'd put it on here, and as soon as I got up to this mark, I knew it was time to start my heel flap and gusset. So I've made quite good progress on this since I saw you. I wound my ball into 2 balls because originally I was thinking I might be courageous and do these 2 at a time. But, I don't know. I have done them 2 at a time before, and I got out my book with all the instructions, and I think because I hadn't been well with COVID, my mind just thought, no, I'm just going to do it the way I always do it, 1 at a time on DPNs. Now, if I'd had a second set of DPNs, I think I would do them concurrently. So, meaning I would do the band on one sock and then the band on another sock. But I've only got the 1 set. But next time I do socks, I'm going to get myself a second set. And because I'm quite a tight knitter, I knit these on 2.5mm needles. Most people knit their socks on 2.25, but for me that just makes them too tight and not enough give. So 2.5 is perfect for me. How beautiful is this colourway? And that's, excuse me a moment, that's my husband. That was my husband ringing me to tell me he's on his way home. Now, where was I? This yarn's beautiful, and this is very true to colour, how it's showing up. I've got my little light above my iPad and it's working really well, except you can see all the reflection in my glasses. So that's my second ball. I wound these up using my Noster pin because I was too lazy to get my ball winder out. Well, because I had to stretch up to the shelf to get it, and I just didn't have any energy that day, so I just wound them by hand, and I think they turned out okay. And this is the sock I've done. Now, this sock is a pattern I've had in my library on Ravelry for quite some time, and I've never got around to making it. Now, it's one of Kate Jones' designs from the Bakery Bears. She put out a release, it's a couple of years ago now, I think, on Beatrix Potter designs. And was it the Peter Rabbit's Sock Club or something? I can't remember now, but it's all designs inspired by Beatrix Potter. So these socks are called Jemima, after Jemima Puddle Duck. And I really like it. It's just a nice, squishy, stretchy, like a broken rib. And I've done the heel turn, and I'm onto the foot now. So all the decreases are done. And this heel flap's got your garter stitch edge, which is really nice. And I love how Kay instructs you to pick up 2 stitches in this gap, because then you don't get a hole. So I'm really happy with how it's turning out. The yarn, when it's knitted up, it's not the softest yarn I've ever worked with, but I think for socks that's possibly a good thing. I put my toe through one of my hand knitted socks the other day, and I don't know why, but it totally ruined them. Too big a hole, I think, to even attempt to mend. And I've got so many hand knitted socks now, I thought they've done their time. It's time for them to rest in peace somewhere now. And it doesn't matter because they're going to be replaced with these. So you can see the legs coming down, and now I'm knitting across for the foot. Kay does an umbrella toe on most of her socks, which I really like. It fits my foot really well. So I'm looking forward to having these done, because we're not going to get many more months of being able to wear socks here in Perth. But we're planning a big, probably 4 or 5 month trip away in our caravan next year. And we'll be going in the winter over to the eastern states. So that's for international viewers. Us people here in Western Australia call the likes of Sydney and Melbourne and New South Wales, Victoria, it's all known as the eastern states. So anything over our border is known as the eastern states. So South Australia, Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales and beautiful Tasmania, they're all the east. and we're going to have a lovely time exploring in our caravan next year. So I will have these lovely socks to wear in my boots or shoes. Look at the colours. Sorry, I just love this colour. It's so beautiful, so pretty. In the pattern, she's got a contrast colour for the cuff and the heel flap and toe, but I just really want to use up as much of the yarn as I can, and it's so pretty, this yarn. So I thought, no, I'm just going to keep going. Now, my only concern, of course, is will there be enough to finish? But I think there will, but if I'm worried, I will just do a contrast colour for the toe. But I think I should have enough. My ball, as it's getting smaller, is getting more messy. But anyway, that's it for my works in progress at the moment. And oh my goodness, there are only 2. That means a new cast on. So I'll be going over to my computer in a minute. But I think before I talk to you again, I'm going to actually probably have my cardigan finished, or at least my socks finished. So I really need to think about 2 new cast-ons. Now, I have found through the lovely Michelle from Dyeing to Knit, she has been crocheting this most magnificent blanket, and it's designed by a company called Wool Thread Paint. So I had a look on their website, and they've got some gorgeous, gorgeous blankets. I'll put the link down below. And Michelle was doing I'm looking down at my notes, the beach walk blanket, and I fell in love with it. So I sent her a message and I said, because she was dyeing her own yarn to make this blanket, the recommended yarn is the Stylecraft Special DK, which I used in my Sungold blanket that you just saw. But this one is going to be for us, it's going to go on our bed, and I wanted something really luxurious that would also have a bit more warmth than acrylic yarn. So I asked her if she was going to be selling the kits to make this blanket, and she said yes. So I picked this up at knit night last night. My friend Charmaine kindly, when she was going over to see Michelle, she picked up my order. And I had to open, it's so beautifully wrapped. Look at this. And you can see I couldn't wait. I had to open one of the little parcels. Now, there's a lot of yarn in this blanket. And this is like the first parcel that I opened. Aren't the colours gorgeous? So Michelle's pretty confident that the yarn she has supplied me will be enough, but I may have to get a little more. I might just open one more while we're on here. All beautifully wrapped in tissue paper. Oh, so this is the parchment, which is one of the main colours, and also I think you use this to join the squares as well, and a lovely sandy colour. Oh, I can't wait to start this. Tonight I'm working on my socks. Tomorrow I'm going to start this. I need to make sure I've got the right size crochet hook and all the bits and pieces. This is so exciting. It's just like Christmas. Oh, look at these. What I love is these colours are also earthy. Look at that. Oh, look, there's a blanket right there, don't you think? That is gorgeous. Oh, can't wait. I'm so excited to show you my progress next month. And here's the last one. Oh, look. These colours are pretty much how they're showing on screen. So these yarns are, I'll take one out, Dyeing to Knit. So this is what the wool we're using is the 4-ply Luscious Sock Base, which is 85% merino and 15 85 and 50. That doesn't quite make 100%. Even with my bad math skills, I know that. 85% merino, 15% nylon. And approximately it's 50 grams in here, 200 metres. So, so gorgeous. This one's called Warm Grey. I'm going to have so much fun. So, this blanket, and I'm going to insert a photo here. This photo actually shows Michelle with some of Michelle's yarns up on the top of the blanket, and this is the one that she's knitting for herself. I'm going to, it starts off with like the central granny squares, so I'm going to do those first. So I'm just going to work out what yarns I need for those, what colours, and get those wound up first. I can't wait, so excited. Okay, and now I think it's time to go and pick out one more new project. Hopefully I can have it started, whatever it is, before my next podcast. So let's head over to the computer and see what I'll be digging out of my stash next. Here we are back at my computer. Now I've got this horrible WinZip trial thing that I cannot get rid of. My computer's doing a go slow. Every time I click on the little cross to close it, I just get the spinning wheel of doom. But that's okay. I've got all my spreadsheet here. I've also added a few patterns that I want to make. So it could be even one of those that I make. So we're up to line 250. So I'm now going to get into my random number generator. We're going to go from 1 to 250. I don't know if you can see that. No, probably not. I've taken the light off my iPad because it was just too glary. So let's see what that comes to. Number 243. Oh, look, it's one of my patterns. And it's the Esther cardigan from the Rowan magazine 57. So I'm going to go and look for that right now. Here it is. Now, the reason I added some patterns in is because sometimes you just see something you really want to knit and then you forget it. So I added a few things in. Now I've just got to find it. We want the Hestia. Okay, just bear with me. I tell a lie, it wasn't the Hestia, it's the Esther cardigan. And this is it here. Isn't that gorgeous? So just let me see what yarn it says. Firstly, let me find the pattern. So it uses Rowan True Silk. Now, I think that comes in 50 gram balls. I'm going to need to now have a quick look, Google True Silk, and see what the properties are. So just bear with me and I'll find out. Okay, Rowan True Silk, 100% silk, made from 100% mulberry silk, making it light with a natural sheen that is found in silk. The yarn is a chainette type construction, which means knitted garments hold their shape and drape gracefully. I have something that I think down here. I have something that I think might suit this. Let me just have a look. Okay, I think I have found something that will do the job nicely. So if I show you this, you can see the chainette construction. Oh, I can't make that any bigger. There we go. Now I have got this in my stash that I bought for another project, but I think it'll be perfect. It's such a lovely colour. It is also Rowan, but it is the Soft Yak DK. Now that is also a chainette construction, so I think it'll be perfect. Now I have 11 balls. The extra large size says 11 balls. I might see if I can buy one more from somewhere just to be on the safe side. But I think that's what I'm going to use. It's such a gorgeous colour. So Rowan Soft Jack DK and it just has the shade lot, which is 248. So I have got quite a bit of it, and I don't have to wind it. It's already in balls, so that's a bonus. So that's going to be my next cast on. I shall double check what needles I need. I've decided I'm probably not going to use as much as my circular needle sets anymore, the interchangeables. I'm just finding that join between the cable and where the needle starts, I have a terrible time sometimes getting the stitches over it. So I'm going to buy myself just an all-in-one, non-interchangeable, if you like. So I might have to have a trip down to my favourite shop, Calico and Ivy, very soon and see what they've got. Or I may even have one in my cupboard. I'll have a look and see. So that's it for today. So hopefully by next month I'll be able to show you some progress on my new blanket. I'm hoping my cardigan will be either finished or not far off finished. I'm hoping my socks will be finished. I'm hoping I'll be making a start on this. So take care, everyone, and I don't think I've got any bits I have to add on today. I haven't got any travels planned at the moment, so yeah, I'll be around getting lots of knitting done. So take care and happy knitting. Bye.